I'm Bonin Bough, Global Director of Digital and Social Media for PepsiCo. I'm here today because I love what the Mashable folks are doing. I think that the concept behind this event is tremendous. It's always great to be in New York for UN Week, and they asked me to come say a couple of words.
The Millennium Development Goals are meant to be reached by 2015, and many people say it's not realistic to happen by then. Do you have any kind of opinion on that?
Yeah, I think part of look, we are as an organization very focused on certain portions of the Millennium Development Goals. I think they were very ambitious, and I think that ambition has created a lot of awareness, interest, but also I think a lot of participation from organizations. However, I do believe that we still need more participation from organizations, and I think that what's great about this week is that it's a continual reminder to the major organizations that the millennial goals are very real, and that it's a collaboration for us to all get there, and we probably need to focus on doing even more. And I think that's what's interesting about what's being highlighted here. And I think what's also interesting about what's being highlighted specifically at Mashable is that it's also the power of the individual to bring about a lot of those Millennium Development Goals, and to highlight that transformation in a way that the world can see and participate in. And so I think that's really exciting and interesting.
So how exactly can individuals do more to reach these goals?
Yeah. Well, I think there's everything from supporting a lot of the cause-related and organizations that you saw presenting on the stage. I think Ed Norton just being on there in terms of driving crowd rise. I think when we saw the female I don't remember the acronym, I don't want to say it, but the mutilation issue and just bringing awareness and donation and that kind of stuff to it. I think that as an individual, we do have not only a responsibility as a citizen of the world to participate in those, but there's also opportunities for whether it's donation or volunteerism or those kind of things. And I think that what's great is that the digital platforms are making it a lot easier for us to know what they are, for us to see what action steps we can actually take, and for organizations to lay out clear participatory action steps for us. I think some of the stuff we're doing on the Refresh project, well, I think it's more focused on smaller communities, and maybe doesn't reach all the millennial goals by any stretch of the imagination, are examples of pathways to participation for the individual.
And could you elaborate on that a bit? What exactly are you doing?
Of course. So the Pepsi Refresh project, which was launched in February this year, is a $20 million fund to fund ideas, big and small, that move communities forward. There's different categories that you can submit an idea in, and there's multiple levels of funding. And each month, 1,000 ideas go up, and the democratic process begins, where you start campaigning for votes for that idea. Votes in the different categories with the highest amounts, with the highest votes, are then awarded the grant, and that happens each month. I think there's been over 300 to date. But it's ideas as simple as putting green shields on buses, and so the participation the participation opportunity for consumers was not just to vote, but also to participate in making that come to life in the city of Chicago in this case.
Okay, and is there a particular MDG that you're really interested in and really want to ensure is met?
I think the water side of the house is extremely important. I think that when we look at I think water and hunger are big things that we need to focus on, and clearly being a part of a food and beverage organization, it's something that's on my mind.